Our next panel discussion is titled Big Bulls Taking Big Bets on Startups. And our panelists will bring you first-hand insights on how they are reshaping the startup landscape as investors. So please join me in welcoming to the stage our panelists, Atul Nishar, founder of Hexaware Technologies, and Dr. Vijay Kedia, Managing Director of Kedia Securities. A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. We also have Bhavook, Tripathi, Chairman and founder of Brahm Corporation, who shall be joining us during the panel discussion. He's a little bit held up in the Mumbai traffic. Thank you, gentlemen. Welcome. Could we have one more mic on stage, please?
No problem.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. Can you all hear? But nobody said good afternoon, so still not many are able to hear, I think. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, now it's better. So we today have a legend of Indian stock market, Dr. Vijay Kedia ji with us. And after seeing his name, a lot of people told me that, startups, so we've been hearing since yesterday, and we'll hear rest of the day. We have a lot of money in the Indian stock market. हमारा इतना पैसा लगाया हुआ है, तो उसका क्या? तो we want to hear from Kedia ji कि भाई हमारे पैसे का क्या होगा? वो सलामत रहेगा कि नहीं? So that is what, I'll divide this today's talk in two parts. One will certainly talk about the market investments. We'll take the advantage of Kedia ji being here with us. And then we'll move to the startup investing that he does. So before I ask him questions, I must also tell you, most of you already know, that he is a great lyricist and a great singer. And he has written so many songs on the market and on investing, and is so popular on the digital media as a result of that. I keep getting, every time he comes up with a new video, somebody sends me the new video of his. So I have become also a fan of his. So inspired by him, let me just start. Agar Kabir ji, our great poet Kabir, इस समय स्टॉक मार्केट में होते तो ऐसा कुछ कहते, तेजी में इन्वेस्ट सब करे, मंदी में करे न कोई, जो मंदी में इन्वेस्ट करे सदा करे एंजॉय, तेजी मंदी दोनों चले तभी मार्केट कहलाए, तेजी में बेचे न कोई, मंदी में मंदी आए घबराए, आलसी लालची और ऋणी इस मार्केट में ना आए, काबू रहे न खुद के मार्केट पे दोष लगाए. I'll not go on with that, and you are all eager.
So I will interrupt, sir. As a similar song I have also written.
Okay.
So that 4 lines I will just recite.
Yes.
कि तेजी में है सभी जीनियस, सभी समझते खुद को हीरो, मंदी की आंधी में बनते वही जीनियस फिर से जीरो, बनने और बिगड़ने में ही नई जिंदगी शुरू हुई है, फिर भी अपने होश न खोना चाहे पार्टी शुरू हुई है.
अरे वाह 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 वाह. So, based on the request made by many of you, I'm going to ask him first. How do you see the current market condition, Kedia ji? I mean, we have seen 3 amazing years, and of course, long period Indian market has been up and up and up, but 3 years we've seen were unprecedented. But since I think sometime in September or October, we are seeing the market having gone down a lot. And more than the large cap or even any index, the actual holding that investors have in small caps, particularly and mid caps or micro caps, has gone down 30, 40, 50% or even more. So how do you see the current conditions? And what do investors do?
So, sir, what I have understood this market, I'm watching this market, I'm in this market maybe for last 30 years or whatever. So what I've understood is there are 3 phases of this market, not 3 phases just because this is the year of Mahakumbh. So I think there is, Ardha Kumbh, there is Purna Kumbh, and there is Mahakumbh. Okay, so this year we had Mahakumbh, which was, I don't know, but as they say, after 144 years or whatever time period it had come. So same thing had happened in this market. For last 3 years, we were celebrating this Mahakumbh, sir. So I think that era is over, that Mahakumbh is over, and that euphoria is over, that pagalpan, that craziness is also over in this market. Now this market is trying to settle down somewhere here and there and try to find its own ground. That does not mean that Kumbh is over, that does not mean that Bahare fir nahi aayenge, sir. Bahare fir bhi aayenge. Lekin again, as I said, that ki Ardha Kumbh and Purna Kumbh, again we will face a bull market. But there is a quote of mine, sir. Every euphoria converts into a crisis. And every crisis converts into a euphoria. So this is what had happened just because we have seen the red hot, senseless bull market, I can say, because people were buying and, getting into the market without any senses, without any calculation. So this is just the repercussion. This is just the side effect of that craziness. So I think this market is finding its own ground somewhere here and there. It might take 3, 4 months or maybe 5 months more. And I think after that, market will settle down. But that does not mean that the price which you have seen in last 3 years, all the stocks will get those prices. That nobody can say, But ultimately, the sentiment, because whatever the sentiment is going on, that sentiment should improve after 3, 4 months' time.
There is so much concern on the tariffs that US may levy and also the global situation particularly. Do you think that we have to be concerned about?
Maybe, sir, because tariff, I think Trump himself doesn't know that what he's going to impose. One day he imposes some tariff, second day again he removes. So I think his mind will also not settle. Ultimately, yesterday only or today or yesterday only I posted one video of Sir Ronald Reagan who had said that all this protectionism actually this destroys prosperity. This is what I had tweeted and tagged Trump also. So that is a different thing. So I think we don't know about what is going to happen so far as this tariff is concerned. But ultimately since we are at the negotiable table, sir, we have to sacrifice. And we have started also rolling back our policy just to accommodate what Trump wants. So I think it will pass away, sir. I don't think it is going to have any major impact on Indian economy. I think so.
Also, government is negotiating with the US government to arrive at a better deal.
Yes.
So
and
that
we are
it's
not
a
threat
win-win.
and we are not threat to US, sir. The major threat is like their neighboring countries like maybe Canada and Mexico and all like the same, like we are facing situation from Bangladesh. Same way US is also facing the same situation from Mexico and all immigration and all those things. And maybe China. So I think all these things, all this drama he is doing just to give a threatening to China to come to the table. And, this is what I feel. I have very little, zero knowledge about politics. But I think ultimately it is not going to have that impact on us.
But what will change the situation when you say 3, 4 months or whatever period market will turn around? Like we had a bad GDP in quarter 2 in 5.2%, though it's improved to 6.2. the corporate results were not impressive at all. And so what will, I mean, if the private capex has not been happening and government capex got delayed, so what will change the scenario in the market? Why will it turn around?
Because I think, sir, whatever we had been growing 6% and plus 6.5%, we had been growing for the last 3 years after COVID. Forget about 21, but 22, 23, 24. This was just one dent. It's a one quarter actually we did not perform, and that is why all these things happened. So I don't think that this market fell because of the GDP. It just took an excuse from the GDP numbers, And this February data were also better. So this was, RBI is also saying that things are under control. And market participants also expecting that going forward, this March quarter numbers will be better than the December quarter number. And going forward, I think that economy should improve. And so far, private capex is concerned, I agree with you. That is the problem. And this problem is lying for last 3-4 years, sir. Every year we are listening कि अभी private capex होने वाला है, अभी private capex होने वाला है. और लेकिन सर अभी तक तो हुआ नहीं है. But ultimately, if you will keep on growing 6% or 6.5% or say 10% nominal rate, then obviously we need to expand our capacity sooner or later. So maybe that will take some time. But I think going forward, numbers should improve quarter on quarter from here on. And that would actually give some relief to the market sentiments, and that could be a cause for market sentiments to improve.
So do you think India's story is, because that is relevant for startup founders also, do you believe India's story is here to stay? Do you think it's a long-term story, it's a sustaining story? How do you see that India itself is a story?
Sir, I think this startups word we have just started using for last 3, 4, 5 years or so. But I think it is in our genes, it is in our DNA, sir. There are 62 million SMEs in India, sir. They are similar to startups only, You just give the name. Because, so I think the startup story has not yet begun, sir. It has not yet started. This is just the beginning. This is just the tips of the iceberg. And I think this startups ecosystem would be a biggest contributor to India's next level of growth stories. As China got benefited, same way I think India should also should be benefited from this.
So, Kedia ji, you invest in startups. You also invest in small listed companies. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the micro cap or small cap companies that you invest in where you have excelled. How do you select these companies? How do you go about? What do you see in them? Do you see management? You see business model? You see the industry the company belongs to? So what do you see to make you put your money in it?
So, sir, I am applying one formula. The acronym is SMILE, S-M-I-L-E. So, S stands for small in size, and M stands for medium in experience, and L stands for large in aspiration, and E stands for extra large market potential. So, this is what I'm doing into secondary market in the listed space. I identify company which is small in size. That does not mean it should be a market cap. In that category, in that sector, it should be the smallest company or small company, not the smallest company. So because I feel, sir, a small company, because I am here not to just get percentage-wise return on my investments. I am trying to make, if I don't multiply my return here in this risky market, in this risky business.
Multiply how much?
Sir, I don't know. God knows only. It depends. Script to script. So coming to the small in size, this is where I'm investing in. Medium in experience. I usually believe, sir, that in listed space, a company should have, or the management is the key, as you asked, what is the key thing is the management, sir. Because management is the driver, it drives the company. So they should have at least 15, 20 years of experience. So that in their 15, 20 years of experience, they must have fallen 4 or 5 times. How they have grown, that is also important. But when they have failed, and how did they recoup, that is more important. What they have learned from their failure, that is also very important. So I usually invest in the company which has a medium experience of 15, 20 years. So they have seen many downfalls in their life. And large in aspiration. So that the management should have that aspiration that today, as on date, today I am a regional company. From regional company, I want to become a national company. I'm from national, I want to become a multinational company. That kind of aspiration has to be there. Because suppose if a management or if a company doesn't become a billion-dollar company from a million-dollar company, I will from 1,000 rupees or from a millions, I will not become a millionaire if I invest, if I buy a fraction of the company. So that large in aspiration is very important. And above all is an extra large market potential. The market potential for the product should be immense. It should be something like a fish in the ocean. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm applying this SMILE formula. So this SMILE formula I'm applying in all my shares. Yes.
So, how has been your experience investing in startups?
Sir, so far so good. I have invested in 15 companies, 15 startups I have invested. And experience has been very good. And one of my company, the first company I had invested, that was in 2016. It was a cyber security company that went for listing last year. And it got a beautiful response. And money, the company wanted to raise some 30 crore or something. They got 9,000 crore and got listed at 100 crore valuation. Now stock price is 1,200 or 1,300 crore market cap. So the company is doing reasonably good, but it's not a recommendation because stock price is very high. It may fall down if market falls. So it's not a recommendation, just I'm giving just for the reference. So this has been very good, sir. Experience has been very good.
So, if you look at the startup company that you invested in and you say the management is very important for you, so you expect this management, the founders, the whole founding team to work what, at least 70 hours or at least 90 hours, or what is the formula? You have, Mr. Murthy has given a 70-hour formula, or L&T CEO has given 90-hour formula. What is Kedia's formula?
I think 168 hours, sir. 24 into 7. If you are a startup.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to live by that. No, it is not. What I feel, sir, there should not be, this is personally applicable to me. I don't feel there is any work-life balance kind of things and all. If you are growing, if you are at that stage, then your work is your life is your work is your pleasure is your life, or pleasure is your work. So if you don't have that kind of animal instinct, I think it is difficult to achieve something in life.
That's right, that's right. So we also have Bhavook joining the panel. He was on way from Pune. Firstly, thanks for driving right from Pune to here, and very much appreciate that. And thanks for joining us. And let me start with the same question to you. You know, when you select investing in a company, what do you look at? I'm talking in terms of startup investing. How do you select a company for investing, and what do you see in them?
So I think my journey has been a little different, that I've evolved. Today I'm doing a lot of brand building and my own investment. So I've, that's just a disclaimer. I've moved away a lot from investing in outside companies. So my investments are more focused. I take majority stakes in companies now, primarily, and a lot of them primarily minority, unlisted. So, but nevertheless, the thesis remains the same. So it is the idea, it's the thought process, and then if they have a smart management team. And again, each person's version of smart is different, or wise is different. But if I feel that there is a good idea and then there is a strong team behind that idea, generally that's a proper recipe for success. So that's the starting point of any investment.
But while taking majority stake, how do you take decision? You look at the industry they belong to. At what stage do you invest in? Early stage, late stage, growth stage? At what stage do you get in and buy a majority stake?
again, I do not have a prescribed state, if something looks good, different things look good at different stages. Some are late bloomers, some are early, So I guess I've invested in almost everything across the board and at different stages of the company's life. So I may not be the exact right person to ask that question to, but to answer your, I started off investing in more mature companies, and as a small investor in the markets, and sometimes trading in those companies. I mean, I'm talking the late 80s and early 90s, and from there, just as my journey as a person has evolved, so has my investing, and I think at this point, I'm investing in 5 or 6 broad verticals that fit into my corporate, what I'm building out for myself. So when I identify companies...
Like which verticals?
So in the last 7 or 8 years, I've been very heavily looking at, agriculture, and then agriculture-related wellness and well-being and products, and everything related to that in the future about lifestyle, a wise lifestyle. So I think anything that is in the orbit of that space. Traditionally, I've been in precision manufacturing, a lot to do with the high metallurgy and material science, and also investing in finance by itself as a vertical. And so I think and I have had some, technology has been another area that I've been trying to, I'm not a very astute person when it comes to technology, but I mean, I've tried to keep in touch with things that affect the future, the paradigm shift in technology. So I think those would be the broad verticals that I'm looking at. Fashion, so lifestyle becomes very broad. And then I look at geographies as opportunities. So since I've been a non-resident for the last 10 years or so or more, so I think I've looked at different, all through my career, I have looked at geographies as an investment opportunity itself. Sometimes geographies are positioned very favorably in the short term, in the long term. So, I mean, I think those are the broad parameters which guide my investing.
Oh, wonderful. Coming back to you, Kedia ji, now you have started with very, very low capital, if I'm not mistaken, when you started investing. And now you have a significant wealth built. If you look at your today's strategy, how do you allocate the funds among different classes of assets? Now we say listed equity, unlisted startups, gold, can be real estate, or whichever other categories you look at for investing. How do you distribute your funds across different asset classes?
So, sir, currently...
But it could be debt funds.
So, I'm not a debt guy, sir. I don't, neither I borrow nor I lend. So, when I keep money in the bank, I don't get sleep, sir. Yeah, because I think that my money is depreciating. If my money is not working, if I'm keeping in the bank, then it is depreciating. Something there in my mind. So, I am an equity guy only, sir. So, almost 85% of my whatever little bit wealth is there, that is into equity. And maybe 5% maybe in precious metal like gold and silver and ETF and all. 10% could be in real estate. So I am happy with that, sir. I would like to stay invested in equity only, because that risk is there, and that gives me fun. That gives me some a reason to live and reason to enjoy.
So taking risk gives you better sleep.
Yes, sir. 100%.
And not taking risk, you lose sleep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm a risk taker, sir. I like to take risks in life.
But is equity really a risk? I mean, earning 5-6% in bank, is that a risk? Or over a period of time earning whatever, I mean, different people earn different percentage. You may be earning much higher percentage, but let me say at least 12 to 15% over a long period of time, or maybe even 17, 18% that mutual funds have reported over last 20 years. Is that lower risk or higher risk?
No, sir, I don't look at that way. It doesn't matter whether it is 12% or 17% or 20%, because I think it does not happen the way we are calculating in the stock market. Maybe last 30 years you got 200%, 500%, 1000% profit. Okay, whatever you call it, CAGR, 200%, 300%. Maybe for next 3 years you will get zero return, or maybe for next 3 years you will get 50% minus also. That will be adjusted. So me, that return is not important. That return would be important to the people who are managing others' money, like for example, fund managers or portfolio managers and all, because they are having a great responsibility on their head. They have to perform, and they have some competition from their peers, peers, fund managers and all. I am a free bird, sir. I'm an individual investor, private investor. So to me, the game is very important. Whatever run I am making, I have to play right. Whether it is then 15% or whether it is 150% or even 5%, said that does not matter to me. Of course, I would like to play well. I would like to compete well with others, But I'm not under that pressure of percentage-wise return YOY.
So long-term holding is important.
100% long-term, sir. I don't know when I'm going to sell the shares. I don't have any price target. I don't have any time target. Whenever I buy any shares, I don't have all these things in my mind. I may stay invested in the shares for 15 years or maybe for 15 days.
So Bhavook, what is your time frame when you invest in a company?
I think I started off even doing day trading. That was just the paucity of capital at that point. But I was seeing the glee on his face when he was talking about taking risk. And I think I've not really put a time frame to anything. If you look at my, I've invested for a really long term. I mean, most of my investments have been 10 years plus in terms of fruition. But I guess you evaluate everything on a daily dynamic basis. The circumstances change of what you've invested in. You could buy something with a certain thesis, and thesis could change. I mean, the world is a dynamic place. You cannot control all the factors all the time. So if I was buying something with the assumption that the currency and the cost benefits of a certain country and a certain company, now, they may rapidly change. And at that point, the investment may not be that attractive anymore. So I think it's very difficult to say what's a time frame, or like any astute business person or investor has to constantly monitor what are the factors which goaded you to buy something, and do they still exist on an ongoing basis. And when you don't find them, then you have to then get out of that investment. Now, if you have an exit opportunity, you had briefly mentioned about the mix, about what's in equity and debt, and I think, again, I feel everything on the planet, even if it is real estate, will produce certain cash flows, will have a future asset value. So, investor across classes or across time is always looking for that, differentiation and something they can believe in, right? So when you can believe in something, whether that is real estate or in a certain period, there could be a time where debt instruments could be selling at a discount of certain companies, where the company has underlying value, but the debt may be selling as junk. And you could get higher return than equity sometimes. So I think it's all assessing and analyzing and realizing what are the factors that are contributing to make something attractive to you as an investment. And then over time, making sure that thesis still exists and evaluating it from time to time. Now, it could happen that things turn, in the other direction and you need to get out of something. So again, I'm an investor as long as my belief in something remains valid, and somewhat like what he said. I think it's not important what the price is. If I still feel that it's an attractive and something I can believe in, then I will stay invested in that, right? So I think it all depends on all the factors that are contributing to that decision of investing in something.
Before I open to the house for asking questions, we may have time for just 2 questions. I would request Kedia ji to sing a song that he would have written himself. And that is what he is very well known for, apart from his investing skills. Yeah.
So, okay. By the way, Bhavook, we have 2 investments which is common between us, which I was holding for last 15 years. One was Serra Sanitary Ware. I held for 17 years, then I sold last year. And another is Weber Global, I'm holding for last 10 years, and so are you. So,
I'm not aware if I'm holding.
Okay, doesn't matter. So now coming to the song, तो इन्होंने गाने के लिए बुलाया, ये सब तो ऐसे ही था इन्होंने. So one song I had written 2 days back and I posted on Twitter also. So I will just recite 2 lines to you. ओ मेरे मार्केट मैन, बिजनेस को बिजनेस की तरह लीजिए, फ्यूचर ऑप्शन लिवरेजिंग सबके वश की बात नहीं, पेनी स्टॉक से दूर रहो, इनकी कुछ औकात नहीं, टिप को छोड़ो, सिप को जोड़ो.
Yeah, please. Continue. Wasn't it good? Bigger applause, bigger applause. Okay, any one hand, any quick question? Mic there?
I just had one question. We run an algo trading platform for retail traders. And now since February, SEBI has legalized algo trading in India for retail traders. And we are compliant to that. So what do you see as a future? Do you see algo trading happening in retail industry now, like for retail traders? Or is it something like a boom which will come and go?
I mean, I think, is that like a rhetoric question? Because you already are doing it, so you believe in it, right?
We believe in it, but
Yeah.
since you guys are in the industry for a long, we just want to know your opinion on it.
So I would first like a tutorial on algo trading. My understanding of algo trading is limited. It's popular amongst a certain class of people. And, the thesis that we've been talking, I think what he said too, we are looking at investments, right? So algo is kind of does not even care what investing is, right? It's just a model.
Right.
So it's absolutely in the other direction of what, right? But I think there is a place for it. Like I said, I started off as a day trader, and in the really old times, people would watch the chart or watch the ticker and then invest. Like depending on that was more a gut feeling investing, right? And our great Junjunwala ji was a master of that kind of investing, right? He just excelled at trading without really having a program or algo. So I don't think I'm an appropriate person to answer that, but I think there is a place for algo trading all over the world. It remains. And there's a certain kind of investing retail public that would be attracted to it. So I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, Kedia ji, we have a lot of bright founders here in the audience, startup founders who have founded the company in recent years, and I'll come to you also on the same point, who have founded the company in recent years or who are planning to, in a planning stage, what is it that you would want to tell them, to these budding entrepreneurs, founders? What would be your message to them? As a successful investor, what is your message?
To the startups?
Yes. To the startup founders, yes.
Yeah, so sir, I will tell you that what I am looking for a startup, what I am looking for the founder, you can say. So that would give the message clear. So as I said, sir, when I am applying into this secondary market, so I have a formula called SMILE. Yeah. Similarly, sir, if I have to invest in some startup, I have a formula when I call it FIST, F-I-S-T.
F-I-S-T.
Yeah, so it's 5 fingers actually creates a fist, right? So I think that the fire should be there in the key person, in the founder. That fire is very important. So when they have fire, that does not mean that they know that what they are going to do. In fact, the fire, just they want to do something. So that fire is important. And second things are important is the focus. So they have to focus in what they want to do. And third thing, what I have found, that's frugality, sir. That being frugal is very important. Yes, that is very important. And if you have these 3 qualities, then idea comes to your mind. First thing is not idea. This is what I've understood. Because I have seen many companies which change their track going forward. When they find after 1 year or after 6 months or maybe after 2 years, that this idea is not working. But they have fire, focus, and frugality. They change their idea. I can give you similar many examples, sir, in listed space also. Like Titan started with just watch making. Titan was making watches, right? And later on, when they found that watch is not that big a market, then they diversified into jewelry business and all. So that idea can change. And last, 3F of fire, focus, and frugality of this, and I for idea, and ST stands for stubbornness, sir. Stubbornness. You have to be stubborn. People will tell you, अरे ये काम नहीं होने वाला है, अरे 6 महीना हो गया, अरे 2 साल हो गया, अरे तू मर जाएगा, अरे गिर जाएगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. You have to have confidence in yourself, sir. So all these things are very important to be a successful entrepreneur.
Okay, just
Yes,
for him,
please.
last point. What would you want to tell the budding entrepreneurs here, the startup entrepreneurs?
So just a little, he's hit on a lot of important points, but I think to me, passion for what they believe in, what they're doing. So I think I would just, because people, let's say if Steve Jobs created something, he was very passionate about technology and the computing technology. So I think, I personally think when you can find your passion or your vocation can become your avocation. So if you can strongly believe in what you're doing, and of course, then you have the wherewithal, the qualities that he spoke about very eloquently about the fire and the frugality and all that. But I think you need to find your passion. So when you can find your passion, if I can find the people who have the passion and then the wherewithal to back all that up with the hard work and the never give up kind of an attitude, I think that's a golden combination. Very rare to find, but then if you can find that. So that's probably my view on that.
Kedia ji and Bhavook, thank you very much. It was a wonderful session. I also learnt a lot from both of you. They were really wonderful. Thank you for joining us. A big applause, big applause. And those who still want to talk to them, we are still here. You can meet informally and please ask whatever question. You have some time, no? Yeah. So they are both going to be here. So
please stay on stage for a moment
Just
longer.
1 sec.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a huge round of applause for Dr. Vijay Kedia once again and Mr. Bhavook Tripathi along with Mr. Atul Nishar. Mr. Nishar, sir, I request you to please present our panelists with a token of appreciation on behalf of TiEcon. Thank you once again, gentlemen, for that dynamic discussion on investment strategies and market dynamics. Let's put our hands together again for Dr. Vijay Kedia. And a big thank you to Mr. Tripathi as well. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to get a group photograph as well. Thank you once again, gentlemen. Before we move on to our next session, ladies and gentlemen, a quick announcement that startup pitch are starting at 4 p.m. in room 202.